phrases. So, okay, Silkies and my fellow Silk people, welcome to my YouTube and Facebook channel. I'm really excited to be here. My job is to bring you guys fun, inspirational projects and to keep Silver Silk fresh and fun and exciting. And, you know, I'm always thinking about creative ways to do that. And lucky me, I stumbled upon this beautiful lady. And when we just got to talking one day, and then like here we are. But for those of you who don't know who she is, this is Juliana Jules Avlar of
Yeah.
Jewel Loom, and you have many, many other products and accolades under the belt, from what I understand about you as well. And you are not new to the industry either, but you're, I think, new to the Silver Silk brand, and I don't know, just ever since we got to talking and we got to planning projects, I've just been so excited to see the things that you've come up with that you can use the Jewel Loom and your other looms for using Silver Silk. So I was going to let you, I'm going to hand over the mic to you.
Okay.
Let you talk about some of your products and who you are and all the good bits. I want to know everything about you.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you. I absolutely adore you. And I can't believe that, like, everything lines up in perfect timing. And so with all of our JTV appearances and everything like that, we never connected. And so I'm just
I know.
feeling,
can you believe that?
Yeah, incredibly blessed. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just having so much fun with you already. So yeah, I've been around for a long time. So I actually got my start back in the late, mid 90s, actually, right after Josh was born, on Aleene's Creative Living. And so I worked for Aleene, the inventor of tacky glue in the gold bottle. And I
remember her. She was such an inspiration to me at a young age too. And gosh, what couldn't she create?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, she got me when I was like in my early 20s, and I was just this, I didn't even know it was through a job thing, and they were like, look for the paintbrushes on the wall, and I was like, okay, whatever,
Exactly.
And then it turned out to be Aleene's Artist Incorporated, and that's where my whole entire journey really started professionally. Although my creativity with my mom and my grandmoms, was embedded in me at an early age. So yeah, so I've just done a lot of different things. And Jewel Loom is my baby. So I invented the original Jewel Loom and hold the US patent on that and the registration mark, which is like awesome sauce, right? I'm always told, like, how exciting that is? And I'm like, oh, I need to be more excited. So it's a pretty cool thing. But
it's a timely process to do all that too. So you should be very proud because it's not an easy thing to acquire.
No, it's really not. And so I am very, very happy about that. Beadalon actually manufactures the original Jewel Loom and the baby Jewel Loom and my needles. And then recently, this time last year. So, well, prior to that, of course, I started birthing like I always wanted a wood loom. And I was like, I wanted to be special. And so this time last year, I introduced the Weaving Goddess collection onto Jewelry Television. And that, she is just an amazingly beautiful goddess loom. And then most recently, I was like, I want something that can be for all skill levels, very neutral, very, but with a jewel touch. And so the fiber loom came out, and that's where, sitting here late one night, like just last week, and you had sent me your yummies and we were doing some other things, and I was like, oh, let's see what can happen.
Yeah, you just never know
so
the possibilities until you start to play with these things and kind of formulate some ideas in your head of like, oh, well, maybe if I do it this way, I can tweak it and reinvent and stuff. So
yeah, it was super, super awesome. So I'm so excited to like even get to know your product better, because obviously it's a perfect marriage between the tools and, you know, weaving and the wefts and all the creativity that's so possible. And so, yeah, it's exciting. I told my group that you were my baby daddy.
Love that. You know what's funny is I didn't even blush or think twice about it. I was just like,
I know,
yeah.
you were just like, yeah.
I think we're totally like, we fit into the same, I don't know, the same creative weird house that I think a lot of artists and designers are drawn to, and we just kind of get each other and you know, vibe off of each other and come up with new and cool ideas and ways to, like, I don't know, push the envelope and do new things together. So I think that's always been a fun part.
I love birthing product. It's just kind of like my thing. In fact, we have another new product tomorrow in my group, and it's, you know, I almost feel, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but I can't help it. It's just like this birthing machine, like, oh my gosh, what if, you know? So yeah, I love product development all day long.
Anita says, happy birthday, Jules. May your day be filled with blessings and love. Aww.
Thank you. Yesterday was my birthday.
Yes. Yeah. Happy birthday, friend. How come I didn't even know that? I'm so sorry. I feel awful now.
My baby daddy doesn't even know what my birthday is. Oh,
I know. We're still getting to know each other, so you got to cut me a break. Motorcrafts, aka Emily, is she is on as well, says hi.
Awesome.
And then I think some people are having some freezing up problems, but that's okay. I think on replay it'll kind of level out. It's just a little bit of a weird thing right now with trying to do this dual cast thing. So speaking of exciting and creative and new vibes, we have an anniversary workshop for Silver Silk coming up that you're going to be a part of. And I think you're on the last day of the actual workshop. So that's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a really fun event. For those of you who don't know about it, it is a week-long worth of workshops. I mean, this is gigantic. I'm doing 10 workshops, which is crazy because my schedule is already haywire. So of course I'm like, let's just add more to it. And I'm going to be teaching some daytime classes, noon central on my time, and then some in the evening that I'm super excited about, including one with you, Jules. And you cooked up a really killer idea for the attendees. This is exclusive just to the attendees. So you want to show them what you have, because I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So so first of all, thank you for asking me to be a part of your celebration. I'm so proud. I'm honored and just like, yes, all day long. And then of course, you know, when we were talking about what I would share and what I would do, you know, again, you know, the birthing process started and I was like, I want to do something really special for your group, and I want to honor your product, honor you, honor your logo, your brand, and so I'll bring in the teaser. So this, let's see, do I need to bring my camera down at all? Can you see all three colors?
Let's see.
Oops, there we go.
Oh yeah, now I can.
Okay, so this just kind of starts it off. So if you know me, I'm a weaving, beading, you know, crazy fiber, go big or go home kind of gal. So, so I found these colors of yarn that we're going to be putting into this magical kit, and you and I worked on that together because we just think that these all together will be just absolutely delicious. We're going to incorporate some really fun beads and obviously some yum num silk. And what else do we got? And then the cool little, you know, clasps. And what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with it, Jules?
What are we going to do with that?
What are we going to do with it?
What are we going to do with it?
Oh my God, this is so stinking cute. I can't even stand myself. Okay. So of course it had to be a loom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I need to like make a loom for this. So
Yes. Yes,
this is
yes,
what I did,
yes.
you all. So this is the little baby loom. Okay.
It is a
So yeah.
tiny, cute, and I've got one too, although I think my computer is backwards, but you guys can see.
So the idea of it, and I'm going to show you the accessories too, because I can't even stand it. So it comes with a tiny little needle. Okay. And it says, I'm a Silky. So everything is branded. The little baby shuttle has the logo on it. And then seriously, I can't get enough of the comb. So designing my
Mhm.
destiny. Isn't that so cute? So
So
yeah,
that,
so
yes, there's everything.
the whole gist of it is that what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a wearable. So in craft world, that means basically it's going to be a necklace. So I'm going to teach the audience, and I was just playing around with some stuff right here, but you can see that this one is in progress, right? So I'm going to teach
Mhm.
all the silkies how to do a basic warp. So your warps go up and down, and then your wefts go side to side. And then I got a little frisky in.
Yes, little tassel to kind of,
Yeah, so they're little Raya knots, and they're super easy peasy pumpkin squeezy to make, and they're just gonna like really set this whole project off. But I'm so stoked and so honored to make this beautiful little kit for you. And we were talking about, okay, we were saying, like, can you imagine when all the shows come back and you're like, Silkies, wear your necklace, because if I see you, right, it's going to
I
be such
know
a
where my people are.
exactly, it's going to be such a great way to identify all of your
Yeah.
people. So yeah, so I'm super excited about it. I can't get enough of it. It's so stinking cute. So
I can't either. I mean, the concept of this is just phenomenal. Imagine having what you, I think Jules said is that it was like having a name badge
yeah,
or some sort of like a badge that one could wear either direction, really, because the way that you
yes,
wove it, it looks beautiful on one side or the other.
yeah,
But it's something that we can all keep and put together. So
yeah,
you're in the process of kitting these, and then that will
yes,
be for sale to exclusively to the attendees of the workshop.
exactly. That's the only way
So
that
this
people
will
will be able to
be,
get it is if they're in your workshop.
yep. Ah,
And
yay.
yeah, and
Okay.
then I'm going to teach you how to use
Cute.
it and what you can do with it. And it's a sustainable Baltic birch that we produce here in the U.S. Every single piece is just like, if you ask anybody about like the energy that they get with my looms when they open them up, and that is because our team just like really they just do it from the heart, and I know you can respect and understand that,
Hmm.
and your community will as well. And yeah, they're so stinking cute. I can't stand it.
I
Just,
love it. We're getting some amazing reactions from them.
yeah,
Can't wait.
yeah, they
Um,
can paint
Emily
them, they
says,
can stain
wow.
them.
And
Yeah.
ooh, and M, my friend M, she goes by Jane, but I call her, or MJ actually. I call her M just for fun though. But she's saying, "Oh my God, that's super super cute."
It's so cute.
So amazing reactions all the way.
Oh, good. Yay. Yay. That's awesome. Yeah, it's really fun. You could take it to like, you know, the go big, go home style, or you can
Hmm.
just like keep it clean and simple. But why would you do that?
We've got some go big or go home folks on here too.
Yeah.
My friend
Yeah.
Tammy says aloha. She's from Hawaii, so
Ah,
she is
nice.
watching as well. All
Nice.
right.
Okay.
So
Fantastic. Yeah, I
we've
just
got,
lost my, here we go.
oh,
I just want to, yeah, my internet went
oh
weirdo.
yeah, yeah. You're giving an eye to the comments as well. Just hopefully you don't miss anybody. So we got a bracelet to make tonight, girl.
We do. We do. So I'm super stoked.
Stunning bracelet.
Yeah. So like one night I'm just like hanging out, going over all this,
I'm gonna
and
put
I
you on
was like,
spotlight so people can really see you. So don't be afraid.
yeah. So I was sitting with the new fiber loom. So this has been like hugely popular. I just came out with it, and the silver silk was sitting next to me, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And what I discovered was, and this is just gonna like blow your mind, basically, the silver silk thickness is perfect. It's a perfect match to the teeth on the loom. So
Incredible,
yeah,
incredible. Like, what
I
are the
was
odds
like,
of that?
again, who's your baby daddy? Who's your baby mama?
Right.
So basically what I did was I took one long piece of the silver silk, and I just threaded it into one of my buttons.
Where
Now
can we
on
find those
this,
buttons? Because those
so
buttons are super cute.
they're super stinking cute. So they're on the jewelloom.com website.
Okay. I'm going to post a
Yeah.
link for us.
Okay, cool. And then, whoopsie. So I just evened it out. And I'm going to go ahead and bring you. Are you ready to come down into my table?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are ready to see your
All right.
deliciousness of your process and what you're making.
Okay, so let's, you said there's like a 20-second delay, so I just want to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what's weird about Zoom? Seriously, my hands look like really big. And I have like little baby peepaws. So I'm like, whose hands are those? Kind of funny.
I don't think they do, but
you
I
don't
don't
think
know.
so? I think
Zoom
they look
does
like
weird
ginormous.
things to people in general,
Yeah.
but that's all right.
Okay, so I'm just kind of waiting to okay, there we go. So do I need to come closer?
Let's see. I think you're perfect.
Okay.
I'm trying to see how I could put you onto a
I'm just waiting. You're still laughing on my laptop, so there's obviously a delay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna mute myself and then you're gonna do all the talking, okay?
Okay, so that looks pretty good. So let me just put my hand in here. So I'm just gonna take that and then squish it down in between the two teeth here. And I'm really kissing that button up. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's quite a delay.
It is, but that's okay. I just
Are you okay?
Yeah, totally. I have
Okay.
myself muted so that it'll stay on, the camera will stay focused on you.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, so the button is like really kissed up to this top row of teeth, and the silver silk is down into the teeth. Okay, so it's really holding it nice and taut. And then I'm just going to bring it towards myself. And then I'll show the camera this, because this is just like the awesome part. There's absolutely like no cutting or no tying, I should say, because it just fits into the grooves absolutely perfect. Okay, good. So we can see that. Okay, because this consistency, the warps, all right, this is the most important part. And so what's super, super cool is, again, the product is literally just loving, the width in these teeth here. So all I have to do is just like push it down and it's going to stay. It's like unbelievably awesome. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I have my beading thread. Oh, and I got to put my glasses on because now I can't see. Okay. So Nile, I'm assuming that if you need me to do anything differently, you will unmute yourself and let me know.
You are correct, friend. As far as I know, you've been explaining things very, very well. What are you tying it with again? Okay, so this is a wildfire, but you could use, whatever beading thread. Let me see. Hold on one second, because I want to make sure that I did the right distance. Okay, so yeah. So I'm tying the knot pretty close to the top here. And what I'm going to do now
is I'm going to take that beading thread, okay, and I'm coming under the warps, and then I'm going to pick up one of these delicious 10 millimeter beads. I let it drop. Okay, and then I'm going to snug that in under the warps, go back through the bead on top of these two warps here. I'm kind of going slow because there's absolutely a delay. And that first row is always like the most Thumbelina, right? Because the bead wants to go here, there, and everywhere. So I just kind of let it chill, and then I guide it back into its place. So there we go. So there's the first row. And then I'm going to come back under the warps again. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure that that came. Yep. Okay. I'm going to pick up another bead. Let it fall. Bring it up under the warps. Take the needle and thread. Go on top of the warp. So do you get the rhythm? You're going under, over, under, over. And with one bead, it goes pretty darn quick. All right, so again, I just want to make sure everything's sitting correctly. You know, it's usually those first two rows that are a little Thumbelina. You got to kind of go back in, just make sure everybody's happy. All right, good stuff. Coming back under, picking up another bead, letting it fall. Going back through the hole.
Some really great comments from our viewers here. Tina says, "Ooh," she did spell it out. Ooh, it would have never occurred to me to loom on knitted wire, which coincidentally the jewel loom just seems to fit it, the capture chain perfectly. So this is a match made in heaven. Elizabeth says that's really awesome.
Yeah.
And then I've got a question from Vicky. You only make pass through the first bead. I guess she asking, do you only pass through the one bead, or do you pass it whenever you go back through to the other side?
Yeah. So here's what happens in off loom. Like people who do weaving by hand. Sometimes what happens is like some of the terms and techniques and what have you get, you know, mixed in with loom work. And so you want to definitely pay attention to what I'm doing because, you don't go back through it. With that said, because this is going to be a little confusing now, I do go back through the first bead and the last bead twice just to secure it into place. So here's the bead right now, and I'm putting it up in between the warps. Okay. And then I go through it once. Now, is it a deal breaker if you were to go through it again? I mean, you don't really, I do that at the very end. I'll weave back through my entire piece. Is that Vicky Finn?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Is that Vicky Finn that asked that question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is, yep.
Yeah. Vicky, does that does that help you? Uh-oh.
We'll know in 20 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
But that was a really good question from Vicky, I will say that.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions, please let us know. This is my first time actually looking at how this loom works, so it's fascinating for me.
Well, and the funny thing is, you know, I made this as we call it the fiber loom, because like I said earlier, I was basically just trying to give an like a basic loom, but with the jewel, all this is like, the jewel loom kind of concept with the raised grooves and everything. And before I knew it, people were making bracelets on the fiber loom. And I was like, I love you guys. Like they just, you know, uh, they just decided, hey, I'm also going to try it and do this. And it was like, well, of course you can do that. So it's kind of fun to watch how people take your product and evolve and put their own twist on things. So yeah, so I'm just coming
Absolutely.
under. Yep.
I'm sorry to interrupt real quick. Donna was
No.
saying that she's been passing through twice all this time, but I guess it sounds like she didn't really need to, but maybe she's just making it extra
Yeah.
secure.
Yeah, and you know what? We do, there are certain projects like this one I don't really think's going to need it, but sometimes with some of my big pieces, I will go back through twice just to secure it. Obviously, it's not a deal breaker, right?
We do
Donna, your
have,
project came out okay, right?
oh yeah, we want to know if your
Yep.
projects came out good.
Yeah.
So Tina is asking if you could actually, if you're weaving it through versus over, and then Vicky is saying or asking if you could actually weave it through it instead of on top of it as an
Right. So
alternative.
yeah, I don't see why not. So that in order to like just completely hide the beading thread. So like you're thinking like come through here. I just don't, I mean, that's pretty strong, right? This,
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, like absolutely. Just you could go right through it. I mean,
yeah, you
I've
could. Let
woven
me
all
see.
kinds of
Well,
questionable things through it before. So
yeah. Yeah. So totally. I hadn't thought about that. Awesome idea. Every look is different too, because like see on the sea foam with the sage green beading thread, you can't even see it. But I'm going to do it on this one because I kind of like the idea of hiding it on this because this is a blue with your, what is the proper color name of this one? Is it purple?
it's a little bit hard to see with the lighting and so I think that's actually
Yeah.
the purple pearlesque chain.
Okay. Let me see what happens here. I mean, I don't feel like it's a deal breaker at all. Um, it might even look a lot better. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you can still see it. I don't, okay, I'm going to say it's probably okay. It's not coming to me as to why it wouldn't be. But I would have to do this whole bracelet that way in order to like tell you 1000%. But just off the top, it looks like that's not a problem. I'm going to do the last few rows and just kind of see if there's any reason why we wouldn't. Whoops. Let's see, I almost did the same thing. See, the thing when you do that too, though, is you really got to line, you got to, and I almost have to stand up. Do you see how crooked my needle is? So almost have to like work, and now my big head's, hopefully my head's not in the way, because I have to be more conscious now of how the bead is going in. Because if I'm sitting and I'm beading and I don't pay attention, I could end up crooked. So that's one tip.
That
This
makes
is
perfect sense
making,
to me.
yeah, this
I
is
think
making, it's making the beads sit lower as
oh,
well. So now you have a different look.
that's really interesting. I think
Yes. Yeah. So the beads
you
are
could really
more on
go
the
either
top.
way, it seems like, though, even with the security. If you wanted to, I guess,
Yeah.
weave it to the next like row down, you could almost weave it or put some seed beads or something on it and then weave it through
Mm-hmm.
the
Oh, you
chain
can
and
do,
then
yeah.
back into again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's so
This
many
is,
alterations that you could
yeah.
make.
This is calm. Yeah. But see, I'm seeing right now where you have to be a lot more conscious of the alignment. And then you don't want it to be where there's too much thread showing. See, and then they kind of get a little, see, that's going to be my concern. Do you see how these three guys are kissing really tight? Let me bring my screen back up to make sure.
If you hold it up close to the camera, I bet we could take a real
Yeah.
good gander at it.
Yeah. Is that closer?
Oh yeah, no, that's great. I think if you can get closer, that would be cool.
Okay, let me go sideways.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's a really good view of it.
Oh, why does the internet keep getting kicked off? Hold on. So, okay, so the beads are definitely sitting lower, which from a comfort standpoint on your wrist, I'm wondering if there's anything. I mean, listen, I really think you're going to have to just try it. And I don't think it's a deal breaker. I think it's just one of those things you're going to have to play with. And so what I was going to say to you too is, do you see that these are really stiff? So they're really tight where there's flexibility. Okay. And these are rolling. These are still rolling too, but they're very close to each other. Listen, you guys, I think you try it. I think you try it. That's all you can do. You can do under, over, or you can do under, come through the product and see what happens.
Yeah, Donna is saying you need to make sure the tension isn't too tight so that the silver silk doesn't dent in. So that's another consideration of, I guess, weaving it through it. So yeah, there's quite a few little.
Love it. I love this though. I love this because, you know, this is what makes it fun. This is where people can try their hand at, you know, doing this and then decide what works well for them.
It's so true, because I feel like I do that on a lot of my tutorials where I start with an idea and then I just end up transforming it over the course of the show.
Yeah. And really the big thing is once you get it on your wrist, because how you get there is one thing, but if it doesn't look good, it doesn't feel good, then it doesn't matter.
It's true.
Right? So
true.
Yeah.
So Vicky is asking if we could see the bottom side of it, and M is saying, "Oh my, I love this." So she loves this project.
Let me get the last bead on here.
Okay.
Whoops. Oh my goodness, come on.
And Tammy is saying, "I love how fast this can be done and how many variations can be done with it." So that's pretty awesome.
Right. And for those of you that, you know, do your boutiques with the holiday coming up, whether, you know, you're in person or online, this is one of those projects where, you know, if you buy right, then, and you can create in under an hour, then this is great for your table, you know, because you're going to have a lot more profit in an item like this. Than something that's going to take you a lot longer. I mean, we've been chit-chatting. How long are we into this now? Like a half an hour? I mean, come on, right? This is a great, this is a great piece for that.
Well, I mean, it's perfect with our chatter just because I feel like we kind of go all over the place.
Yeah.
Which is perfect, but it's meditative.
I want to take this one off. Somebody wanted to see the back of the loom. Is that what Vicky said?
Yes, that would be Vicky asking to see the back.
Yeah, so it pretty much looks like
closer.
Yes, sorry.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think there's like a big difference.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's stacked up well. So
yeah, and
not a huge
difference. I mean, on the green one here, you know, I did the normal technique of under, over. The seafoam green in this particular beading thread, you can't really see it. So I can see where the question comes up on this purple and this blue. If that bothers you, you know, then go through. Yeah, I think it's a preference. I just think it's whatever you want it to look like.
Debbie is asking, is the size of the loom that you're currently using the same as the goddess loom, or is it a little bit different?
Hold that thought. It's definitely wider. So here's the goddess.
Okay.
Yeah, so so she's longer and she's thinner. Yeah. So this one is
teeth on it are about the same though, right?
The teeth are similar. The small weaving goddess has a smaller groove for beading, and the fiber loom was designed to accommodate fibers. But basically, you have a 8-inch by, I believe it's 5 inches. Yeah, 8 by 5 on the fiber loom, and on the goddess, it's almost 10 by almost 5. So the goddess she's bigger in one way but smaller in another. So I just wanted to see, let's see here. Okay, cool. All right, so that worked out. So I'm actually going to I'm going to come through, let's see here. It's in there pretty well. I'm going to come back through and anchor this in a little bit better. So what I'll do on my last row is I'll come back through the bottom. So just make sure. So I'm under the warp right now.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, I'm letting you give me some cues there because.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's hard with a delay. I'm like, I don't know if I should move. And then I'm going to go back through the top. So that just really anchors in.
So you kind of went through it maybe twice?
I did twice. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. Once we get this on, we'll see what we like better. You know, right here, I can tell like these 3 I did where I went through the material, through the silk. You know, you can't see the loops. So I think it's just going to end up being, what color are you using? You know, is your beading thread, like with the green, again, you can't see it. You just can't see it. It's like magically melts into the silver silk.
And I wonder if it were not Fireline, if you used a colored embroidery thread or some sort of hemp, or, you know, made up part of your design, you can kind of use that wrapping technique, the first one that you showed us, before even weaving it through, to incorporate into your design.
Yeah. There's, you know,
infinite
there's a lot of, it's all preference. It's all, and there are some beautiful colors from some different companies, like you said, Fireline, and if I'm doing hemp or what have you. But we're doing silver silk.
Emma's asking, and she really wanted me to ask this question from when she typed it. And you backed me up. I love you so much. Jules, did you see, here we go. Did you see the picture I sent you with my first finished fiber loom project? I guess she sent it to you on a messenger, so you'll have to take a look later.
Okay, did she just do that?
I don't know. Em, did you just do that, or was that a while ago?
Did she post it in the group by chance?
She says I sent it on your messenger page. So it might be through some messaging from your business page, maybe.
Right. I know. And the problem is, like, there's two business pages and so
that is beautiful. I love how the clasp, you don't have to do, at least for the top part, you didn't do anything special besides just put in the 2-hole button. Super easy.
Yeah. So now, I mean, this is the crazy part. It just like literally comes off.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that section we did where we just went through, it's not, I can't even tell where we did it now. Well, there they are. So they lay, you can tell where these are very, like they're up, and then these are just slightly down.
So it's just,
Yeah.
it's truly just a different look.
Yeah. So all I'll do is I'll bring this around to kind of determine how big I need to make the loop, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll pinch that together and then magically somehow get out of this. So, and then I'll come in. And now, what do you recommend cutting? Because I used my wire cutters. Is that what you do?
That would be the way to go. Yep.
Okay. Scares me. Okay. Okay, and then we'll take our clasp. Yeah, I'm not digging this blue on top of this purple in this light. So my recommendation would be to find, if you're going to use this purple, to find a better coordinating color or to go through the middle. But it's not a deal breaker. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, really, I was curious to see how that woven process was going to work out just in general, because from your example bracelet, like those colors would be the colors that I would want to put together with the beautiful turquoise and the seafoam.
Yeah.
And, but this is a really great example of how you put it together, though. This is wonderful.
Yeah. So then you just do your little magic, right? And you crimp. This is the second time I've done this.
Well, show us. I want to know what your journey to crimping is.
Okay. So I think, right? I scooch them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this was the very first time I did it. I didn't have them in there enough. Can you see me?
It's tricky, absolutely. And you can use those pliers to open the crimp up more if that will help you.
Okay, I think I'm okay. And then I'm going to come in with my flats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and make sure like that.
Pretty much, yep. And then just give it a test. If it comes out, then
okay.
Yep, you might have to crimp it again. But if it doesn't, those seams on this side should close up and you should be all good.
Yeah, and then I added a little charm. Whoops. Hopefully I didn't make this too short. No, okay.
It's got probably a little stretch to it.
There we go.
Tammy was saying, how fast and awesome is that?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, Suzanne is asking, what about, she's asking, what about Softflex beading wire, or a beading wire, I guess, in general? Could a beading wire, like a thinner beading wire, work? I don't know, though, because it wouldn't be as flexible as thread.
Yeah, we've done wire on, I'm going to come back up if that's okay.
Yeah, I'll do this too. Get us both on cam.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did a lot of, we did some pieces with wire, and but to weave with it, your hole and your bead, would be important. You would need to know that. Warping with wire is like super stinking cool. And so you can use, the different wires that are available. But I mean, I just think that this is magical. I think the way that we create in Jewel Loom is, you have your basic, here's instructions, here's step one, and here's what you get. But with the Weaving Goddess, right, with this whole new, line, it's all about like just creativity from the belly, from that whole area, that whole birthing area. And so to me, this looks like things that are encased. It looks like, you know, like you're protected, you know, like your product that is protecting the beads, and the beads can be all these symbolic things. So that's where my head is always at. I kind of like, I create from that standpoint. And they're like treasures. Look at them. They look like they came from the water. They're just so
I
beautiful.
love it. They are
Yeah.
gorgeous.
And just easy peasy pumpkin squeezy
I
people.
mean, we've just been rambling. We've been chatting here for like maybe 40 minutes or less, and you already like whipped out a bracelet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's incredible.
It is pretty stinking. That's how come I was so excited the other night. I was like, oh, video, text. I was like shooting them to you, shooting them over to Sarah Ellis, you know, like, oh my God, look.
Well, I think you're a creative genius, and I'm
Oh
delighted
gosh.
that our
Mhm.
different products just marry so well together for a
They
whole
do.
different experience, completely separate from what typical jewelry making is. I think the jewel loom just simplifies a lot of the process and the setup that's involved with some of
Yeah.
the more intricate weaving. And I say intricate because if you're not using the loom, or if you're just using your surface, like that process can be very intimidating and hard, I think. But if you have that organization and the setup, and the size is just
Yeah.
perfect for the bracelet, and if you can extend it out, or not extend it out, but if you just work in sections at a time, you could build a necklace together with it.
Oh my gosh. And I just loved what you said, like taking it and then going back and like sewing in the loops. And, you know, you could just like make this so unique to your style, you
Hmm.
know, by taking it to a whole other level. But this is quick and easy. And from a jewelry making standpoint, if you are selling your pieces, I always like to have that piece that didn't cost me a lot to make from a material standpoint and from a time standpoint, you know, but it looks like you did, right? So I don't know.
As I feel it should be, because
Yeah.
I feel like the less time, at least if I can spend less time on something but still come out with something that's extravagant, and but that I think that's what we do as designers, right? We're trying to figure out big intricate ways of doing something in a very short and concise way,
Yeah.
um, time wise and material wise. So it's our challenge to bring you guys those ideas, and
Yeah.
the executions and stuff that we see, especially in the groups, are just amazing what you guys create and come up with.
Oh my gosh. Every day. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. Like, I will go into my group. I know you do this too. And it's like, I mean, you know, I'm just like mouth dropped to the floor and like, oh my God. Oh my God. You know, like, it's truly
Well,
the biggest gift of what we get to do. Like to see people be successful with our products. It's that's the good stuff.
that's absolutely it. It's that extra aha moment, or I don't know, something that they discover that excites them, just gets me excited. So it's just a way to funnel back and forth our creative energy and good vibes, I think.